Good afternoon, students. Today I am going to look at two IELTS questions and answers from my student for General Writing Task 1 and Speaking Task 3. You can see the questions and the answers printed below. The areas I have highlighted in bold have mistakes which I am going to correct. Other areas highlighted in green do not have mistakes, but I am going to improve them. However, you cannot see this green highlighting on YouTube, but I will explain everything in detail. So let's look at question 1, a letter to a landlord complaining about the condition of some of the furniture. Paragraph 1. My name is Anna and I am a tenant of the apartment, no inn here, which I have recently subleased from you. I am really enjoying living in your property. Actually, no, change that. I have really enjoyed living in your property since I moved in. However, there are some problems with the furniture which I think require your attention. Paragraph 2. First of all, I would like to tell you about the chair in the living room. I have noticed that the legs are not very stable, and that is the correct word. Once I barely avoided having a serious accident while trying to sit down on this chair. The last phrase here is not clear. I don't know what flipped here means. Flip is, for example, when we flip a coin. We toss the coin in the air and it spins around. So I think here the writer wants to say something like the chair leg was damaged in some way or defective, leading to a possible fall. So I think I will finish this sentence like, because the leg was very loose, L-O-O-S-E. The last sentence I have to totally change because it's not clear. So, luckily, comma, I saw the damaged leg before I sat down and was able to avoid a possibly serious accident. Paragraph 3. Apart from this chair, the wardrobe doors cannot be closed properly. There is a space remaining and the doors, this last phrase again I can't understand. Maybe it could be cannot be locked or cannot be closed tightly, T-I-G-H-T-L-Y. This is not as serious a problem as the broken chair. However, it is annoying when I have to take out and put away my clothes every day. I think that's better than the existing phrase, which is not very clear. Discomfort is not really the right word to describe a problem with the wardrobe. We could use discomfort to describe a problem with a chair or a bed. Paragraph 4. I would appreciate it if you could arrange a carpenter to come over and fix both these items during the week. Okay, there are a lot of problems with this letter because I think the writer has attempted to answer the question in a too difficult way, leading to problems with vocabulary and structure. It will probably get between 6 and 6.5 before my changes. After the changes it should be close to the top mark of 9. However, I'll give some advice on how to answer this kind of question. First of all, I think you only really need to describe one piece of furniture. Although the question says condition of some of the furniture, you could, for example, say, I'm writing to you because there are some problems with the furniture in my home. The condition of some items is very poor, but most importantly, I have a problem with the bed. Then after this, you can just go on to describe the problems you have with the bed. There's no need to describe another item of furniture. The second piece of advice I would give here is when you're describing some kind of object, focus on the activities you use this object for, not the object itself. So if you're talking about a sofa, for example, S-O-F-A, you could say, I'd like to complain about the sofa in the living room, which is very old, smelly, and very uncomfortable to sit on, full stop. In the evenings when I get home after a hard day's work, I really love to sit in front of the TV and relax. But this sofa is so uncomfortable I cannot sit for more than a few minutes before I get backache. Last night, for example, I had just returned home and was sitting comfortably in the sofa when suddenly the sofa made a creaking noise and sunk in the middle. Creaking noise, C-R-E-A-K-I-N-G. Notice here I've introduced the past perfect tense, which is going to get you more marks. So that kind of description is going to get you a better grade than trying to describe the furniture in too much detail. You could also add, often I have visitors come to spend time with me and they also like to sit on the sofa, but every one of them has complained that it is extremely uncomfortable. So most importantly, remember that when you answer an English question for the purpose of an exam, you want to look for a simple way to answer the question, which should allow you to demonstrate your high quality English. If you try to choose a complicated way to answer the question, you end up spending too much time thinking of a clever answer and not enough time thinking about the best English to use. Try to avoid describing very specific activities or actions, such as sitting on a chair and something being wrong with the chair leg. The chair leg may be wobbly, W-O-B-B-L-Y. It may be uneven, U-N-E-V-E-N, or it may be shaky, S-H-A-K-Y. But you can see all these vocabulary are quite difficult, so best not to go down that road. You know that expression, don't go down that road. Okay, let's look at question 2, a speaking task for task 3, paragraph 1. As for me, currently I prefer to live in a studio for several reasons. I think these two first sentences should be joined together. Prefer to live in a studio for several reasons. Also, as for me is perhaps not the best way to phrase this. Because of the word currently, we might say, at the present time, I prefer to live in a studio. Or because of my current life circumstances, that may be the best. Because of my current life circumstances. Second line, the first reason is that I live alone, so I do not need a lot of space. Don't use for myself at the end, this is repetition. The second reason is that I prefer to live in a fancy and convenient area or neighborhood where most of the expats live. Know the after where most of the expats live, and the prices for rent in this area are of course much higher. Now the last sentence is quite unclear, so I'm going to change this. But I can afford to rent a studio, which is far less than I have to pay for a large apartment. I think that makes the idea clearer. Also in the fourth and fifth line, the expression prices for rent, this is not really correct because rent means price, so best to say and the rents in this area, rents plural, and the rents in this area are of course far or much higher. However, because I rent a studio, however, I am able to rent a studio because studio rents are far lower than what I would have to pay for a large apartment. Paragraph 2. Thirdly, I love the fact that I do not need to spend a lot of time cleaning. No for here. I used to live, we need a semicolon here after cleaning because the sentence following is really a sentence in itself. So I used to live in a 72 square meter, no S, apartment in Russia, and it was always annoying to clean it up. I think we should have a full stop after up, otherwise this whole last paragraph is going to be one sentence. So this last sentence, this is especially pertinent, P-E-R-T-I-N-E-N-T, considering that my very furry cat, this should be past tense, so this was especially pertinent considering that my very furry cat helped to make this large space dirty very quickly. This answer is quite good. It should get around 6.5 to 7 in the IELTS test. With the improvements I have made, it should get the top marks. Okay students, thank you for listening and good luck with your next assignments.